We are going to do applications of writing equations of lines. If you notice, we have keywords such as slope, y-intercept, and points. Now, what happens is that we are able to read a word problem and try to figure out what they're talking about. Rates of change, speeds, rates, something happening each day, each week, per, etc. represents slope. When you're dealing with a starting point, that is the y-intercept. If you have relationships between two variables, that will represent the points. Number 6. You are traveling to DC for the 2014 selfie competition. The taxi driver charges you a flat fee of $3 and an additional 75 cents per mile. So when you see that, the flat fee is what you start off being charged before you go anywhere. That represents the starting point. That is your y-intercept. So that is your B. B is equal to $3. Each additional 75 cents per, okay, when you see the words per, if you look up here, it says per, that means that it is your slope. So if you have a slope and you have the starting point, that is slope-intercept form. So to help you out, so we start off with $3. Then you add an additional 75 cents per mile. And that is your equation. Letter B says, how much would a taxi ride for 8 miles cost? So how much represents your y, which is your money, and 8 miles is your x. So which one do you have a number for? You have a number for x, so that's why you're going to plug in 8 in for x. So y equals 3 plus 0.75, plug in 8. Okay. And then you're going to go to your handy dandy calculator. So we're going to go to our calculator and you're going to do 3 plus 0.75 parentheses, 8 parentheses. So it will cost $9 for 8 miles. Letter C says, if a driver declared you owed him $13, you owe him $13, how far did you travel? So owed and the money represents your y. How far is your x? So which one do you have a number for? You have a number for y. So you're going to take that 13, plug it in place of y, and then you're going to solve for x. So I have x over here. So I want to get this by itself. So I'm going to subtract 3 on both sides. So I get 10 is equal to 0.75x divided by 0.75. So that means that your x is equal to 13.33 repeating. So I'm going to round to the nearest hundredth place, 0.33 miles. And that is how far he has driven when you owe him $13. The next question says, Miss Morgan created a savings plan to save $24 per week. That represents your slope, because you see the word per. It says that it took me 17 weeks to save $6,580. So M is equal to 24, and you know that's your slope. Now you have 2 sets of information. We know that X is weeks, Y is money. So you can get a corner point as 17, 6580. So to write the equation, you have a slope and you have a point. So you're going to use point slope. Y minus 6580 is equal to 24, x minus 17. Now what you're going to do for letter B is you want to determine how much money I could save in 1 year. So that is 52 weeks. So what you're going to do is, that is your y. Actually, nope, that's your x. You take your 52, plug it in to find out your y. So 52 minus 17. And now we're going to solve for y. So I'm going to get y minus 65. 5.80 is equal to 24. Inside parentheses is 35. And I'm going to go underneath. So I get y minus 6580. So we got to use PEMDAS to help us solve. And then I'm going to get y by itself. So y equals 7420. So that is how much money I could save in 52 weeks. The next one is Miss Joseph and Mr. Flanagan turns on the oven to bake cookies for their classes. They notice the following readings on the oven control panel. After 2 minutes, the oven has reached 180 degrees. After 4 is 290. So it says, what is the rate? So when you see rate, that means slope. X is temp. Y is the actually, X is, sorry about that. X is time. Y is temp. So I'm going to get 2 points. 2, 180, and then 4, and then 290. So you plug it in the slope formula. M is equal to 290 minus 180 over 4 minus 2. So 110 over 2, which is 55. And that represents your rate of change. So now what I'm going to do is, for letter B, is put in point slope form. I get to choose whatever point that I want. And then I plug in the information. For letter C, it says, how long will it take for the temperature to reach 350 degrees? So what you're going to do is 350 degrees represents your, what is it? Temperature. So that's your Y. So you plug it in, and then you're to solve for the other variable. Okay, so 350 minus 180 is 170. And then I'm going to distribute the 55, so it's 55x minus 110. So now you're going to get x by itself by adding 110 on both sides. So 280 is equal to 55x. Divide both sides by 55. So x equals 5.09 minutes. If you use the other corner point, you will get the same exact answer.